Hello, welcome along. And this is the watercolour that we're doing today. This is a full watercolour demo. Just some sort of a country road somewhere. You see some trees there and a couple of little huts there, or a house in the background, someone walking towards them as well, and a few wildflowers there in the foreground as well. So we start off, we're using 100% cotton watercolour paper, just wetting the paper there with some nice clean water. We might do a coastal scene for the next video. Just being careful not to go over the roof and not to go over the houses. I think that'll do it. We're going to be using some cobalt blue there and a tiny bit of Payne's grey mixed with the cobalt blue, and also some yellow ochre to make up the sky. So there's the cobalt blue mixed with some Payne's grey, and here's the yellow ochre. Put more Payne's grey mixed with the cobalt blue. I'm just going to tilt the paper a little bit just to get it to blend in and flow in through together. I'm using these colours here. You can see colours are a sap green, a raw umber, and also a dark leaf green. And we're starting off with a dark leaf green, and the paper is still moist at this stage, which is okay. I don't mind it being moist because the paint will diffuse a little bit into the background. The paint will not flow into where the house is because I've got no moisture over there. No moisture where the houses are. So I'm just going around the house here, putting some background bushes or trees in around the house. I might even go over the top. You can see that there's nothing on the top of the roof of that house I'm painting now. So I might put some foliage over the top of that roof as well. I'll do that later, watch out for that. Some burnt umber going in now, just in places. I'm just putting a little bit of burnt umber in with that dark leaf green, just to give it a bit more tone. Just to give an idea of perspective there on the ground around the house there, and now some more trees or shrubs there in the not totally in the foreground, but you can see across the road there. A little bit of dark leaf green mixed in with some of that raw umber, and there's a little bit of yellow ochre in with some of those bushes there on the other side of the road. I'm putting some foliage around the house and some more definition on the road there as well. So these colours you can see are diffusing into the moist paper. The edges are diffusing, which is good. That's what I want for this one. I'm going to be painting these trees fairly soon, but before I do that, I'm just putting a bit of background shapes of some trees in the distance. Just a hint of some trees, just to give the impression of something in the background there. Just putting a few marks up in there. Right, so that, yeah, we're going to continue putting some foliage on the top of that house there, as I said I'd do beforehand. I think that makes the houses stand out a bit more. This is a mixture of some Payne's grey, some purple, but a very light wash of purple, and a little bit of raw umber as well. Now this tree will start diffusing out. That's okay, I don't mind that, because there'll be a lot of trees through here on the other side of the road where I'm painting them. I'm using a rigger brush to get these nice fine lines. And again, the same combination of Payne's grey, a little bit of purple in there, and a tiny bit of burnt umber. And I'll keep mucking around with that combination of colours on these trees. So in some areas you'll see I'll darken up with a bit more Payne's grey, then I'll put a little bit more purple in, a very light wash of purple. So I want it to look like a woodlands scene, these trees without any foliage on them in the foreground here. And you can see the trees in the background there, which just gives a nice backdrop to these trees that I'm painting now. Just putting some olive green here. There'll be some olive green. There'll be, as you can see, I'll be putting some yellow ochre in there too, and a little bit of raw umber or burnt umber for this foreground. And we've got some grasses to put right in the foreground, a few grasses in there too, and we're going to be sprinkling a little bit of white, perhaps some white gouache to give the impression of a few wildflowers in the foreground. see how we've been building that up. So the shadows will be coming across the road, so I'm just sort of darkening the houses or the shacks up with a bit of shadow there, using a little bit of purple mixed with some Payne's grey and bringing the shadow across the road there. And the shadows should be going roughly in the same direction with those trees as well. Some burnt umber along here, a little bit of yellow ochre as well, and I'm making sure the paper is fairly wet along there as I'm doing that, because I want those colours to diffuse. Oh, sorry, there's a little man there. You can see I've just put a little figure in there. Just putting a little bit of shadowing on the roof there, of those houses or those shacks. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I might just put some windows in there, little door. That's all I'll do really for that. I'm putting another branch in now on this big tree here. There we go, that looks a bit better. I'm just putting a shadow in now, mixed with a bit of purple along with some Payne's grey. There's maybe a little bit of burnt umber, very light wash, going across here for the shadows of the trees. I'm just getting some newspaper. I'm putting it over the majority of the painting there and just leaving the foreground so I can splash some white gouache over there to give the impression of some wildflowers in the foreground. A little bit more here, yep. And we're ready to take the masking tape off, peeling away from the paper. And here's our final reveal. There it is. Just a very simple scene of a guy crossing the road there, some country scene heading toward his house perhaps, out in the bush there with those trees in the foreground there as well. Hope you enjoy that. You could probably put some birds in there too. Please subscribe and click the bell icon and all the rest, and I'll be back again with another video soon. Bye for now.